my life, I've seen it all. And now it's time for me to pass on this knowledge to you, all my sisters, my troubled sisters. This is my gift to you.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Thank you for tuning in with Lady Janine. How all my beautiful people doing today? Today, on this video, we're going to talk about marriages, ungodly and godly marriages. I was married myself. I was married for over 3.5 years. I just recently divorced a year ago. Basically, the reason why I divorced because it wasn't of God. It was very ungodly, unequally yoked. Well, first I'm going to talk about unequally yoked marriages. Basically, unequally yoked marriages consist of so many things. That's why people marry out of convenience, such as pregnancy. Even myself was married out of convenience because of pregnancy. Marriage is supposed to be a union between two people that want to spend the rest of their life together. But not just that, also seeking God if that person is meant for you to be with. I see a lot of marriages that does not last long. You know, it's not the same like it used to be. My mom, matter of fact, got married at the age of 18 back in 1975. And to this day, she'll still be married to my dad if he never was deceased. But back then, 70s showed so much love to one another. It was like so solid as a rock, you know. But now, these days, you see a lot of marriages that are based out of convenience. Not just that, there's so many reasons about ungodly marriages. Sometimes it's about age. You get to a certain age in life and you feel like, oh man, I'm at my breaking point. I'm not married yet. I'm such and such this age. I want to hurry up and get married. And then when you get involved with someone that is not godly, that you did not seek God for, you wonder why things are not equaling out. And that's what's going on a lot today. You got to seek God when you want to be with somebody to spend the rest of your life with. Getting married based on pregnancy, age, getting older, because you don't want to be alone and things like that, that's not of God. You have to seek Him. And if you seek Him and tell Him what type of mate you're looking for, a godly person should be the first thing you look for when you want to marry somebody. Somebody that is godly, that has God in his or her life first. Just the other day, a few days ago, I met a guy who said he is married at this moment, but he's not with his wife anymore. And he said basically that they were not equally yoked. He's been verbally abused by his wife. She does not go to church. She does not praise God with him. I am no way going to be involved with someone who was like that. And basically, when I was married, church was not in our marriage. I tried to have him to go to church, and he would not do it. There were times that he would tell me out his mouth, if I will go to church, I better find another place to go. Like I said, I dealt with a lot of verbal abuse in my marriage, a lot of controlling, and I was not happy. Being told I was a nobody, and it was a hurtful thing. And like I said, I give God praise and I thank Him for it, because no one deserves to be treated bad whatsoever, married or not married. And I see a lot of that today. There's really some people in their 40s and 50s who's been married for so long who are in a bondage situation. A husband could be addicted to alcohol. The wife may not believe in God. But basically, you should never get married based out of convenience, because it does not work. I see a difference in a marriage whenever the marriage was based out of love and with God involved, versus a marriage that's based out of inconvenience. The husband seems to treat the wife differently if it was based out of convenience. I find a lot of marriages that more the wives are doing more of the husband things versus the husband doing the thing, because the husband's supposed to be the protector and the provider, and you don't see a lot of that either. But for those who are going through a time right now with marriages or possibly divorcing, right now this is the time for you to go to church, time for you to talk to a therapist possibly, or just pray about it. But if it's not in your heart to be with that person, to love that person the way it needs to be, the best thing to do is to let them go. It makes no sense to hold somebody in a marriage or a relationship if you feel it's not going to work out, you know. And I wish the best for everyone. I really don't wish divorce on everybody, but sometimes things does not work out for its best. I wish there was more that I could discuss on that, but you know, a lot of people today, we need to seek God for that. And for the ones who have been divorced like myself, know that you was not to blame for the divorce. You did your part. You just got to know that God has someone else better for you. This goes out to the men and women, because you have some men that are married to a woman, and it's very, very ungodly. She may not even do the things a wife's supposed to do, such as making sure things are correct in the home, cleaned up, and things like that. That's considered unequally yoked marriages. Another example of an equally yoked marriage is whenever the wife will pay all the bills, while the husband would spend his money and buy clothes and go to buy polo shirts and things like that. Another sign of unequally yoked marriage, say for instance, the wife works a morning shift job. Okay, there's like breakfast and everything there for the child and the husband. By the time the wife comes home, the child has not been dressed, has eaten junk food all day. The husband didn't even take the initiative to even have any dinner or go to the store to buy any groceries, you know. And when she comes home, you don't even embrace her or say, how's your day? Give me a hug, I miss you. No type of embracement at all. And I see that a lot. I even went through that myself. So you definitely want to always have expectations in a marriage. And that's why you should build prior to getting married in a relationship, to know what is what with one another, and knowing each other before getting married. Also, that is very, very, very important. And you should just trust God, and you don't want to be in something that is not of God, because God will show you. He will show you majorly if things not going to work out in a relationship or marriage. And just you got to seek Him. A lot of people are going through it, and you're not alone, people. And I love all of you, and all of you are beautiful. But you got to love self before you can love somebody else. And to anybody that is going through a divorce or had just recently divorced or anything like that, this is the time to build self up, loving self, embracing self, knowing your worth, knowing what your worth is. Because there's a lot of milk being given out here, and ain't no cows are being bought. And just know your worth. Don't settle for the first thing coming smoking in your face, because you got to have options. And you know, everybody wants, you know, love and things like that, but you know, you just got to seek God. I'm going to keep saying it till y'all realize God comes first before marriage, before seeking a mate. You got to seek Him if you want that type of relationship or that person to be your husband or your wife. It's serious, and marriage is a serious thing. And if you ever had to force somebody into marriage, that's not going to work either. Forcing someone, it's up to that person if they want to be with you for the rest of your life. I see a lot of forcing in people get married. Sometimes the girl will demand a man to marry her because she feels she's the best thing, but what does his heart say? And he may not look at her as that. And then some men that are forced in a marriage, you see how he will treat her. He's not treating her the way a husband's supposed to treat a wife. A husband's supposed to treat a wife with love and embrace, thanking God for his wife, loving his wife, showing compassion, being very passionate, being in her corner, supporting her, providing, being there for wherever she needs him. And that's very important in a relationship and marriage. You should always expect great expectations and things like that, because, if I was, whenever, I would make sure my husband had food and things like that. Or if I had to work late, he would not return the same favor. He'd never take the initiative. And that's a lot of things, too, of ungodly in marriages, is when one partner is not taking the initiative in the marriage, where it's only one person doing things, but when you marry, it's not an I anymore, it's a team. And if you're not willing to be a teammate with someone to work things out with them, it's just not going to work. It's going to be so many arguments because you're blessed. You know, you have a life to live, you know, and your life is precious. And people need to realize that everybody is not blessed to spend the rest of their life with somebody. So, you know, make sure that you see God and you know what you're doing and continue to be blessed in his life. He is a blessing, and thank God for it, and thank God for him. And I love all of you guys. Y'all have a wonderful, happy holiday. Y'all take care of yourselves, and thanks again for watching Lady Janine.